Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another week of NRL Tipping. Of course, now we are in round 16. So starting tonight, we have the Warriors versus the Bulldogs. To be completely honest, I'm not entirely sure actually who to tip here. Um, I I am going to go for the Warriors though, even without Kieran Foran, simply because they are at home. They are in Auckland. I know earlier in the year the Bulldogs took their home game to New Zealand also, and they managed to pick up the win there. But I think this will be a different story. I'm expecting the Warriors to win here. I'll be saying I think it'll be a pretty close game. I'll be saying the Warriors by 6. Second game for Friday night, we have the Tigers versus the Titans. Of course, no Tedesco for the Tigers this week. Um, my tip is going to depend on whether the Origin stars back up for the Titans, especially Pete's, I'm going to say. Um, Tigers showed some good signs last week. As I keep saying every week, I don't think that they are that great of a team. They deserve to be where they are on the table. However, they did show some good signs last week. So for me, if Pete and Hayne play for the Titans, I'll be tipping them. However, if they don't play, I'll be tipping the Tigers because they are at home. Either way, I think it'll be a pretty entertaining game. I'll say 6 points either way. First game for Super Saturday, we have the Cowboys versus the Panthers. Looks like another tricky game to pick. Pretty common trend this weekend. Of course, the Cowboys without Thurston, they are at home. The Panthers have been putting in some good performances in previous weeks, picking up some wins. I'm going to go for the Panthers here. I think because the Cowboys played last week in the Golden Point game, no Thurston. I think the Panthers having the break. I think the Panthers should get the job done. I'll be saying the Panthers by 4. Second game for Super Saturday, we have the Broncos versus the Raiders. Raiders being at home, I am going to tip the Raiders here. I think this is a game that they need to win to stay in touch with the top 8. Of course, the Broncos without Darius Boyd now, without Milford, they are a bit undermanned. I know in previous years they have been pretty much full strength, week after week, no injuries. But yeah, I'm tipping the Raiders here. I think they will bounce back. Just a hunch. I'll be saying the Raiders by 10. Final game for Super Saturday, and potentially could have been the game of the round. We have the Roosters versus the Storm. Of course, as we know, the Storm won last week without the big three. However, they are out again this week. Roosters are at home, although without corner. I'm going to tip the Roosters here. I think they are somewhat underrated this year, even though they are near the top of the table. So for me, I'll be tipping the Roosters. I think it'll be another close game here. I'll be saying the Roosters by 6. First game for Super Saturday, we have the Dragons versus the Knights. Dragons have been pretty poor the past few weeks when you look back at it. I know they picked up a couple of wins, but they did lose last week. In all honesty, this could potentially be a game that the Knights win. I know, as we know, the Dragons without Jack de Belin. It wouldn't surprise me if the Knights do win. However, I think the safe bet is the Dragons. But if you want to tip the Knights, I mean, in all honesty, go for gold. I think this could be a game that they win. I'm going to say 4 points either way. Final game of the round, we have the Sharks versus Manly. Now, these two teams are basically full strength, so this could potentially be the game of the round. I'm going to go for the Sharks here. I know I said in my top 16 mid-season review that Manly have been flying under the radar, so to speak, but they do have some extremely tough games coming up. I know they got the Sharks, the Roosters, the Storm. I think they got the Broncos also. So for me, I'll be tipping the Sharks here. They are at home. Another close game I'm feeling. I'll be saying the Sharks by 6. So just in regards to a quick little review of the Origin game on Wednesday night, I feel that New South Wales definitely let Queensland off the hook. I think the game was there for the taking. As Joey John said, they didn't target Thurston at all. I noticed also they were using Hayne quite a bit. Even the halves were passing to Hayne. And don't get me wrong, Hayne is a good player, but when your halves are passing to your centre to find the match winner, I think that speaks volume of the team. I mean, they had basically no idea. Just throwing it off to him. I thought Maloney was good again, especially with his support play. But as I say, throwing it to Hayne, saying, "Hey, win the game for us." That's he's a good player, but as a centre, it's probably not his job to be doing that. I think the Queensland forwards dominated the Blues forwards. Obviously, Fafita was quiet. Anyway, it's looking to be arguably one of the best, one of the biggest Origin games in recent memory, coming up in a few weeks. Of course, Boyd out now, and I am definitely looking forward to it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Let me know how you went for the tipping last week and what your tips are for this week. Enjoy the weekend. See ya.